for you when it comes to film photography, it's like click clack on the camera and this
Yeah,
how the
that's
lights and stuff goes in.
that reminds me of the first time I got into film photography actually, because I the my history of film photography is, I don't know if it's interesting, but like the first time I definitely experienced something like it was seeing my mum's negatives, but I was like a toddler then. I was looking at them and I was like, ooh,
I
wow,
remember that face.
the
You look at him, his face is all
yeah,
fucked. Like,
yeah,
is that me?
you're like, oh wow, the people have blue skin.
Yeah.
What? Because they're negative. The
Yeah.
colors are they're inverted, and then just put them away in the box.
Blue
Never
skin
see them again.
motherfuckers. Sorry, I'm just
Yeah,
racist.
and then
Blue skin. Fucking avatar.
yeah, screw those guys. Yeah, and then in high school, I was on Instagram and I was like, I wasn't even dabbling in photography. I was an idiot doing like smartphone photography, chucking a filter on it, cropping it in a square. The early days of Instagram.
The
Yeah,
shit that you look down upon now.
yeah. I
Now
look
you
down
see
upon it now.
when you go on Instagram,
Yeah,
you see people.
I see my archived posts and I'm like, 2014. Sends a chill down my spine. Yeah, one of my mates he was in the year like 2 or 3 years above me. He dabbled in film photography first and he posted his results on Instagram, and I was looking at them and I was like, there is definitely a difference between what the hell I'm doing and what the hell he's doing.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, film photography. And the thing that really pushed me into buying a camera was I went on a hike in the start of 2018, January, and I was standing atop of a cliff face looking down into the Blue Mountains with my mates. And I was looking at the valley and I was like, man, I wish I had a camera. That was not my phone. Yeah, I whipped my phone out,
But that's
took
also
photos.
a perfect answer for like
Yeah.
what film photography is
Yeah.
like for you, because you literally said, "I wish I had a camera."
But it could have been
Fuck this
different.
motherfucker though.
It could have been different. It could have been like, yeah, I wish I had a camera. Bam, digital.
Or it could have been like, "Cool thing." Done. Got the
Yeah.
photo.
So I got back from the hike. A few days later, went on eBay, bought a camera, an Olympus Trip 35, which I've given to a friend.
That
Um,
chick you were talking about, right?
yeah,
Female.
I bought the camera, bought a few rolls of film, Agfa Vista 400, and these are just names of films, and took a few photos. Went up to the photo lab at Glebe. It's called Rewind Photo Lab. Place is alright.
Shout out. to everyone photo lab.
Shout out for. I'm about to say taking my money, but
For developing my photos.
thank you for developing my photos.
Thank our sponsors.
Yeah, so
Thank our sponsors.
yeah, Rewind Photo Lab. I walked in. Man, I don't want to shit talk them. I don't want to. I'm gonna say it because
Tell me.
I might as well tell you because like I walked in, went up to the counter. I was like, "Hey there, this is my first roll of film." This is my first roll of film too. What I did was so when you take photos with a film camera, when you're done and you can't wind anymore, what you're meant to do is you're meant to rewind it. I forgot that. I opened up the camera, looked at the film, and was like, "Oh shit!" Closed it. Okay, rewound it into the canister. Went up to the film lab after school because I went to the City Boys. The schools in the city. I could take a bus to Central Station, then another bus to Glebe, and I went to Rewind Photo Lab like a bunch after school. So I went in, went up to the counter. Hey there, this is my first roll of film. The guy behind the counter's like, "All right, what's your name?" Right, and then I was like, "All right, name's Robert. How much is it?"
My name's Mr. Hoang.
Yeah. So it's been a while. It's been yeah.
But
Oh, but the second I got the photographs back and I saw them, I was like, "Whoa, damn! I want to do more. This is lit. This is great."
fuck that guy. He
The
doesn't know what the fuck he's on about.
the last couple of frames in the roll are burnt because I opened the camera, but it's
But you
pretty
learned.
lit.
I was like,
Yeah, I learnt.
You got to see this
I only
information.
out of all the times out of the 90 or so rolls I've shot, or no, like 70 or so rolls I've shot, 80. I've only opened like 2 of them prematurely.
Obviously learn. But dude, that's sad how that went down.
Uh,
Because the whole story you're telling, you're like, I'm like,
Yeah.
First,
It's lit,
And
it's
then
lit.
the little guy just clobbed your dream with the fucking baseball bat.
It's one of those things, yeah. Because if I talk about the Kosciuszko organizer, digital and film, because he always asks me questions about questions about the film experience, but most of them are geared towards the technical aspects of it. Because digital photographers are like that. You've got things like resolution, um, lenses, but even film photography has lenses, of course. You've got things like resolution, megapixels, bloody how many like Fujifilm. Yeah, Fujifilm has film simulations. Yeah. So in other camera brands, they might call them color profiles. So you've got something like Vivid, which has saturated colors, or maybe something that's like standard, less saturated, less contrast. Fujifilm has film simulations, which they base off of the films that they made back in the day. They still make film, except Fujifilm discontinued. Oh, I don't know if it's famous. Yeah, they
This boy loves Fujifilm. He has
famously.
a camera.
I've got a Nikon. I didn't buy it. My dad did. Fujifilm discontinued a film stock a couple months ago, Fuji Pro 400H, which was a professional level film. I loved it because I only shot about 2 or 3 rolls in them, and usually when you shoot rolls of film, you only get out of 36 like 5 or so keepers, 6 keepers. When I shot Fuji Pro 400H, I got like 10 keepers,
Damn.
like 10 or 12 keepers.
Because the film's that good, or because you were that careful with it because you
I
didn't
was,
have.
I was maybe a bit of both, but like even with other professional films, sometimes it's hit or miss. But with Pro 400H, it had magic to. I swear to God, it had magic to it, and they discontinued it.
Speaking of magic, though, you know what I think is magic? It's a good way to kind of wrap up as well, so you're not late to anything.
I've still got time.
Huh?
I've still got time to be honest.
Yeah, well, the audio might cut out.
Yeah,
The
fair.
video might cut out. But I'll
Sup.
talk to you off camera as well. don't worry
Sup,
about
sup.
that. But my point being, you know what's magical?
Yep.
You know when I'm hanging out with you and it's film photography, and
Fair.
you're there, and it's just a silence as I wait for the click.
Right.
Because you can
That's
appreciate
true.
all the mechanicals. I can appreciate that moment.
Hmm.
That this. It sounds like this.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about because ooh, I don't even know
You don't
because like
understand. It means a
yeah.
lot when you hang out with me and I'm a loud person, and the thing that you do just sucks the voice, like the voice out of me, and I'm just quiet,
Yeah, because
and then we just see it.
yeah, one of the things with taking photos, I'm pretty sure digital photographers do it too. But I used to do rifle shooting as a sport in high school,
Okay.
like in junior high school, and
Smart people at school.
yeah, smart people at school, we've got opportunities. So one of the things that we did there was like just before you take the shot, literally, you stop breathing. You just
Do you hold your breath when you take photos because so that you don't move?
Yeah.
Is that why? Yeah.
Yeah,
So, that
so you don't move.
Yeah.
yeah, maybe
There's me.
yeah. Yeah, so
my photos are all shaky.
it's different because when I first got my film camera, the strangest thing happened. Maybe it wasn't strange. Got like I stopped using my phone camera. The only reason I used my phone camera was to take pictures of the
Yeah, just
whiteboard.
stuff that you just wanted to have on hand.
Yeah, just like pictures of the whiteboard, notes to copy down. And when I like took photographs of stuff that I cared about, it was on the film camera.
Well, we actually. There's another difference about the digital camera and the film camera that I remember wanting to bring up with you. It's because with the digital, it's just so available. You know, there's an abundance of it, so you can just keep taking pictures. Whereas what you call it with the film camera, it's specific. So
Right.
you don't want to waste this film. This is tangible. You take this crap photo, there you go. That's film. That film's just gone off into the air.
That's true.
And
Oh
in
my
the spirit
god.
of like discontinued film, you don't want to do that.
The trip I went to Kosciuszko, I brought along a big medium format camera with a panoramic back. So if I put in normal regular 35mm film in, it shoots panoramic photos wide. All of the photos were destroyed.
Why?
Because I was a little bit negligent. The lens I had on it, the thing with the Bronica system, that's the brand of camera.
What the fuck these photos?
Yeah,
bitch?
there's a little tab on the lens that camera just turned
No,
off.
we'll keep running.
Yeah. Okay, so there's a little tab on the lens that switches between normal shooting and then like bulb mode, which is like long exposure. You had it on long exposure, which is something you're not meant to do during daytime.
Yeah.
And so every single photo I took was just
All white?
yeah, all white.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I knew what happened.
And like,
Yeah. I was gutted at first, but then I was like, I'm all right with it because the digital photographer mate, his photos are technically going to be better. Although he asked me to take a lot of photos on his camera too, so I did my best photography with that too.
You get to
I get to, yeah,
begrudgingly kind of retain your experience.
yeah, but yeah, because like in my mind, there's always this before getting the photos back. There's always this like anticipation. Is it gonna be good? Is it gonna be bad? And in my mind, I was like, as I was going around, because Kosciuszko is a very bright place during the summer. We were wearing sunnies the whole time. When you take them off, everything's way too bright. And I was looking at the landscape through the sunnies, and it looks beautiful. If you look at it normally, it's just unsaturated.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, and
my mate has like nice sunnies. You put them on, it's like a whole filter. Like,
yeah, and I was worried that the film that I had wasn't suited to the landscape. And yeah, so when I didn't get the photos back, I was like, yeah, okay, I'm fine with this. I'm all right. Oh yeah, another thing we can talk about is that I'm pretty sure there's around the world there are like pockets of film photography communities. I'm pretty sure there's one in Vietnam or in Saigon at least. There has to be, because when I last went to Vietnam, 2019, November, December, I was worried because like with film photography, it's sensitive to radiation. So whenever you go into a airport scanner, back in the day, what you had to do was like you had to separate your film from like, you have to separate your film from getting scanned, from getting bombarded by X-rays. Yeah. So I forgot about that. I chucked it in the luggage, and then by the time I hit Saigon, I was like, oh man, other photos I took in Japan absolutely wrecked. So I got my parents to drag me along to a film development lab in Saigon, and I walked in. I don't know what the place was called. It was like half cafe, half film development lab. I walked in, went up to the counter. Hello, Jow, what's the how fast can you develop these? 1 hour. All right. Okay, and we got them back, and the photos were great. And
Why did they get fucked?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know.
Because I remember that's why you told me this story. And yeah,
The photos were fine.
Figured out like, why did the X-ray fuck them up?
Yeah, and on Instagram, one of the coolest things about film photography is that you can most film photographers use hashtags, and some of them, like in my opinion, cringeworthy. Like hashtag.
Kind of, film. I've seen this.
Yeah, I hate that.
And it's not even like it's a fucking digital camera photo, but they use film.
Yeah, when they use film hashtags or like other cringy stuff like hashtag film is not dead, hashtag film today, hashtag film of the week.
And then you go to their like page,
Yeah.
like just a bunch of random
And then
one film photo.
And then there's this thing I do where I do only 2 hashtags at the most, or maybe 3. And they're all to do with gear or the film I use. So the camera I use, hashtag Olympus OM1, and then hashtag Kodak Gold 200. The camera, the film, that's it. And whenever I use those hashtags, it's because that's the camera I use to take the photo, it's the film I use to take the photo. And on the subreddit, r/analog, which is the film photography subreddit, yeah, they do the same. These are rules. And whenever I find a hashtag of a relatively exotic film, and I scroll through the recents or like the top, like 30% of them are from, not 30%, depending on the hashtag, like recent too, are from Vietnam. You go through the caption, and then there's Vietnamese. Yeah. Yeah.
Tickle my fancy, don't you?
Yeah.
You knew where to hit it. Like, that's amazing to me. Like,
Yeah, it is.
Like if I clicked on like a film hashtag and went, oh, okay, cool. What the fuck? What's Vietnam?
Yeah, because I'm scrolling and I'm like, this place looks like a side road in Saigon. Click on it. It is Saigon.
Making no promises, no nothing. But hey, who knows? Like,
Yeah.
in the long run, me running back and forth to Vietnam, maybe could get some roots there and like have a growing kind of,
Fair. I'm pretty sure it's there. I'm pretty sure there's another like
there is. But
film
let's
cluster
tap
in.
into that. Let's
Yeah.
hey, listen. Let's tap into
San Francisco definitely has a film cluster. I'm pretty sure there's one in London. Yeah, because like
that. Once we
things pop up everywhere.
Dude, like, first of all, you definitely want to be going to Vietnam next time you get a chance.
Mm-hmm.
Get in amongst it now, because this is what you missed out. And obviously, I'm sure there's a language thing as well, but you speak English,
Right.
and you yourself, bro. I'm very out loud out there. Sometimes people, like, it's too much for them, right? But the way you present, Rob, is quite well. Don't worry, I'm very mindful of time. You present very approachable and well, nice mannered.
Right.
I feel like if you were to go to Vietnam, Just hang out with people speaking English. They'll obviously speak English as well. You try to speak Vietnamese, it would be great.
Fair enough.
But that attitude, that not the attitude, the commonality of like the common personality of film photography people.
Right.
You've got to be patient. You've got to be methodical. That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You find it,
Yeah.
a bunch of people.
Oh man, another thing I remember from that film lab in Saigon was they had ashtrays
Of course.
made out of dead cameras.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
How you
like
doing for time?
first time I saw that. I might need to head off.
You know that off?
Yeah, probably
No,
now.
you
Oh yeah.
might. Alrighty.
Fair.
First of all, I never usually do this, but thank you so much for coming through. And yeah,
Cheers.
we'll
Pleasure to be here.
With time constraints.
Yep. I'd love to be back, to be honest.
I don't know. No, I'm kidding. Well, dude, I don't think we'll do this, but I'll
Right.
say this to you as a thing that you can consider. You know how like podcasts are about certain specific niches?
Mhm.
Niches?
Yep.
Right? And obviously my podcast doesn't really have a certain specific niche. I love Vietnam, whatever. But I can imagine you, not telling you to do this, or like being around it.
Yeah.
Podcast about film.
I've considered it at one point, but then I'm way too lazy. I'm
Yeah,
way
you
too
know,
busy. Yeah.
You consider it, and then like the way it looks in your brain.
Yeah.
Come out, you're like, I can't do that yet.
Yeah, I'm like with that. It's not perfectionism, but like I've got an affinity of like doing things properly. So if I'm ever gonna do it, if I'm ever gonna do it, I need it to be quality. I need to know that it's gonna be quality.
Your way.
So I thought about it, and then I was like,
It's not something you want to start and have to
Yeah.
go through the bare bones the way I've done this.
yeah, I thought about it of doing like a YouTube review, like
Yeah.
because lots of film photography YouTube channels do reviews of cameras too, and I was at a point where like I had a bunch of cameras, I could definitely review them, but yeah, nah, I don't think I could pull in the quality for it compared to the stuff I've seen, because like Dunning-Kruger effect, the distance between my perceived skill and my actual skill, yeah. The distance is wide.